Chapter I. Arrival and settling into the world. Close your eyes now. Let the day slip away like a feather falling through still air. Nasrallah is here with you, his voice soft as the down of young birds, warm as the sun on the great lake. He will carry you across centuries, across mountains and valleys, across causeways and canals, to a place where feathers become art, where colors tell stories, where the hands of makers have worked for generations. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Nasrallah is with you now. You are safe. You are held. You are beginning a long journey into sleep. Listen, the year is long ago, before the strangers came, before the temples fell, when the great city floated on the lake, like a dream on water, like a feather on air. You stand at the edge of that city. Causeways stretch before you, straight and true, crowded with people, with traders, with travelers. You walk among them, your feet on the stone, the lake on either side, its water dark, its surface dotted with canoes, with floating gardens, with life. The city rises before you, temples and palaces, houses and markets, all painted white, catching the sun, dazzling. You cross the causeway, you pass through the gate, you are inside. The streets are full of sounds, full of smells, full of life. Traders call their goods, maize and beans, chilies and tomatoes, cloth and pottery, and feathers, everywhere feathers, bright feathers, green and blue, red and yellow, long feathers from distant birds, small feathers from forest birds, feathers piled in baskets, feathers tied in bundles, feathers waiting to become art. You follow a street, narrow, winding, away from the market, away from the noise. The houses grow quieter, the people fewer, the air changes. You come to a workshop, not large, not grand, but its door is open, and from inside, a glow, not the glow of fire, but the glow of color, the glow of feathers, the glow of art. You stop at the threshold. You look inside. A man sits on a low stool, his back to you, his shoulders curved, his hands working. He does not turn, does not startle. He knew you were coming, has known for days. Before him, on a low table, a frame of reeds, and on the frame, feathers, thousands of feathers, being arranged, being placed, being made into something. His name is Amentekatl, though you will not learn this until later. To you he is simply the feather worker, the maker of beauty, the keeper of colors. You step inside. The room is small, but it holds more than its size. The walls are lined with bundles of feathers, each color separate, each hue distinct. The greens of the quetzal, long and iridescent, shimmering like the lake at sunset. The blues of the cotinga, bright as the sky, deep as the eyes of gods. The reds of the macaw, flame-colored, alive, burning, the yellows of the oriole, golden as maize, warm as the sun, and more, browns and blacks, purples and oranges, every color you can imagine, every color you cannot. The smell wraps around you, not strong, but present, the smell of feathers, of bird skins, of the forest, of the sky, and beneath that, the smell of glue, made from orchid bulbs, made from bat dung, made from patience, and beneath that, the smell of years, of decades, of generations working in this same room, breathing this same air, arranging these same colors. You breathe it all in. It enters you, becomes part of you. You are already becoming a feather worker, already becoming part of this place. Amenteketl speaks, his voice soft, like feathers brushing together. Come, he says. Sit, he gestures without turning. His hand waves toward a mat on the floor, woven of reeds, soft, worn by countless sitters. You go to it. You sit. The mat is soft beneath you. It smells of the lake, of the reeds, of the water. You sit and you watch. His hands continue their work. They hold a feather, small, delicate, blue, with tweezers of bone. He places it on the frame, exactly, carefully, where thousands of feathers already lie. He presses it down. The glue holds. The feather stays. He reaches for another, green this time, places it beside the blue, touching, fitting, becoming part of the pattern. Another, red, another, yellow, another, another, each feather chosen, each feather placed, each feather becoming part of something larger. You watch his hands, the way they know what to do, without being told, without being thought. The knowledge is in them, in the bones, in the muscles, in the decades. His hands are stained. You see that now, not with clay or glaze, but with color, with the oils of feathers, with the glue, with the years, each stain a memory, each color a lifetime. He speaks again, still without turning. You have come to learn, to watch, to stay. It is not a question. It is a statement, a welcome, a blessing. Yes, you say, your voice small in the feather-filled room. He nods, his head moving just slightly. The only acknowledgement you need. The work continues, feather by feather, color by color. The pattern grows. You cannot yet see what it will become. A shield, perhaps, a headdress, a cloak for a lord, a gift for the gods. But you see the care, the patience, the love, each feather placed as if it were the only one, each feather part of thousands, each feather essential. After a long time, he stops. He sets down the tweezers. He turns. For the first time, you see his face. It is old, older than you expected, lined like the bark of ancient trees, worn like the bone tools he uses. But his eyes are young, bright, full of color, full of light, full of feathers. His hair is gray. His hands are twisted. But his eyes see what others cannot see. The pattern in the chaos, the design in the colors, the beauty in each tiny feather. You are tired, he says. The journey was long. The city was large. The watching was long. You nod. You are tired, more tired than you knew. He rises. He goes to a corner of the room. He returns with a blanket. It is not like any blanket you have seen. It is made of feathers, thousands of feathers, soft and warm, shimmering with color, greens and blues, reds and yellows, patterned like the wings of a bird, like the sunset over the lake. You will sleep here, he says, on this mat by the wall. The blanket will keep you. The room will keep you. The feathers will keep you. He gestures to a corner, a simple mat, like the one you sit on. Waiting, you go to it. You lie down. The feather blanket covers you. It is lighter than you expected, warmer than you imagined. It feels like being wrapped in clouds, in birds, in the sky itself. Through the dim light, you see Tenochtitlan return to his stool. He does not work now. He sits, his hands resting on the feathers, his head bowed, in prayer, in thanks, and simply being. The light through the small window is fading. The room grows dim. The colors of the feathers deepen, become richer, more mysterious. You think of all the feathers in this room. Thousands, tens of thousands, each one from a bird that flew, that sang, that lived in the forest, that gave its beauty for this work. You think of the hunters who gathered them, who climbed the tall trees, who set their snares, who took the feathers without killing the birds, releasing them to grow more, to give again. You think of the traders who brought them from distant lands, from the hot lands where the macaws fly, from the cloud forests where the quetzals live, from the mountains where the eagles soar. All of them, part of this work, part of this room, part of this blanket that covers you. You think of the patterns, how they grow feather by feather, color by color, patience by patience, how a single feather is nothing, but thousands together become something, become beauty, become art, become prayer. Tenochtitlan sits in the fading light, his hands still, his presence a comfort. A small lamp is lit, a flame in a clay bowl, its light flickering on the feathers, making them glow, making them alive. You lie under the feather blanket, wrapped in color, held by beauty, carried by the calm. Nasralla's voice returns, soft as the lamplight, gent as the feathers. You have arrived, he says. You are here, in the feather worker's house, in the place where birds become art, where colors become prayer. Rest now. Rest in the smell of feathers. Rest in the softness of the blanket. Rest in the presence of the Maker. He will work tomorrow, and you will watch, and the days will pass, and you will learn. But tonight there is only sleep, only the deep rest of arrival, only the peace of beginning. The colors around you deepen. The greens become forest. The blues become sky. The reds become sunset. The yellows become sun. You are wrapped in the world itself, in the feathers of all the birds, in the beauty of all the colors, in the love of all the makers. Amentekatl rises. He covers the work. He banks the fire. He goes to his own bed somewhere in the shadows. The room settles. The feathers wait. The colors sleep. The beauty rests. And you sleep, wrapped in the feather blanket, held by the room, carried by the night. Nasrallah watches over you, his voice the last thing you hear, before sleep takes you. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep. You are home now. Home in the feather worker's house. Home with the colors. Home with the beauty. Home with the peace. Sleep. 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 Asterisk asterisk. Chapter Roman 2. Asterisk. The landscape drifting past. Close your eyes now. Let the colors of the workshop settle into you. Nasrallah is here, his voice soft as the morning light on feathers, gentle as the first touch of Quetzal green. He has carried you through the first night, through the arrival, and now into the slow drift of days, into the landscape that gives the feathers their life. You wake to color, not just light, but color. The morning sun streams through the small window and catches the feathers on the walls, and the room explodes with light. Greens so bright they hurt, blues so deep they pull you in, reds that dance like fire, yellows warm as the sun itself. You lie still, wrapped in the feather blanket, watching the colors move as the sun climbs, as the light shifts through the doorway to the main room. You hear Amentekatl moving, the soft sound of feathers being sorted, the gentle rustle of bird skins, the quiet murmur of a voice, praying or singing or simply being. You rise. The feather blanket falls away. You fold it carefully. Place it on the mat. You go to the window. Through the small opening, you see the world outside. A canal, water moving slowly. Dark, deep, a canoe passes, paddled by a woman, carrying vegetables, maize and squash, beans and chilies, from the floating gardens. Beyond the canal, more houses, low and white, and beyond them, the great lake, stretching to the horizon, its surface dotted with canoes, with floating gardens, with birds, birds everywhere, ducks and herons, cormorants and egrets, fishing, flying, calling, and beyond the lake, mountains, blue with distance, green with forest, where the quetzals live, where the eagles nest, where the feathers come from. You turn from the window. You go to the workroom. Amentekatl is there, sitting on his low stool. Before him, piles of feathers, sorted by color, by size, by quality, greens together, blues together, reds together, yellows together, each pile like a small piece of sky, like a captured rainbow. He looks up as you enter, nods, gestures to your mat. You sit, you watch. His hands move through the feathers, lifting, examining, placing, each feather judged, each feather valued, each feather finding its place. He speaks, his voice quiet, fitting the morning. Today, he says, we will walk. You will see where they come from. He rises. He takes a cloak from a hook, not of feathers, but of cloth, simple, worn. You take the cloak he gave you yesterday. You follow him out. Through the narrow streets you walk, past houses and workshops, past canals and gardens, past temples and markets. The city is waking, the sounds of morning all around, traders calling, children laughing, dogs barking, canoes splashing. You follow Amenteketl through the market where feathers are sold, piles of them, bright and beautiful, traders shouting their prices, buyers examining the goods. He pauses at one stall, speaks with the seller, a woman with feathers in her hair. She reaches into a basket, brings out a bundle, long green feathers, Quetzal feathers, the most precious of all. Amenteketl examines them, holds them to the light, runs his fingers along their length, nods, passes something to the woman, takes the feathers. He tucks them into his cloak. You walk on, out of the market, through the edge of the city, past the last houses, onto the causeway. The causeway stretches before you, straight and long, across the lake, toward the shore, toward the mountains, toward the forests. You walk beside him, the lake on either side, water dark, deep, alive with birds. Ducks paddle near the causeway, ignoring you, used to people, used to travelers. A heron stands in the shallows, still as a statue, watching for fish. Cormorants dive, disappearing, reappearing far away. Amenteketl walks slowly, his pace the pace of age, of wisdom, of one who has no need to hurry. You match his pace. You walk beside him. He speaks, his voice mixing with the sounds of water. The feathers, he says, come from everywhere, from the lake birds near the city, from the forest birds in the mountains, from the hot lands far away, from the cold lands beyond the mountains. Each place gives different feathers, different colors, different qualities. The Quetzal lives in the cloud forest, high in the mountains, where mist wraps the trees, where orchids bloom, where the air is cool and wet. Its feathers are the most precious, green like the forest itself, long and iridescent, shimmering with every color. You look toward the mountains, blue in the distance, their tops hidden in clouds. You walk on. The causeway ends. You are on the shore, the land solid beneath your feet. The path leads through fields, maize growing tall, beans climbing the stalks, squash spreading on the ground. The three sisters, the gifts of the earth. Farmers work the fields, bending, planting, harvesting, the same motions, repeated, repeated, like the placement of feathers. You pass through the fields, into the forest, the trees close around you. The light changes, becomes green and dappled. The air cools, the sounds chain. Birds call above you, unseen, their songs bright, their feathers hidden. Amenteketl stops. He looks up into the trees. Listen, he says. You listen. A bird calls. Close, a flash of movement, and you see it. A small bird, blue, bright blue, brighter than the sky. Kotinga, he says. Its feathers are prized for the blues in our work. You watch the bird. It hops from branch to branch, unaware of you, unaware of its beauty, unaware of its value. It is just living, just being a bird, just being blue. You walk on, deeper into the forest. The path narrows. The trees grow taller. The air grows cooler. You come to a clearing, and in the clearing, a tree, taller than the others, its trunk massive, its branches spreading, and in its branches, birds, large birds, with long tails, with green feathers, with red breasts, quetzals. Amenteketl stops. He puts a hand on your arm. Be still, he whispers. You stand, not moving, barely breathing. The quetzals move in the branches, their long tails streaming behind them, their green feathers catching the light, shimmering, alive. One calls, a soft sound, not loud, but carrying. Another answers. They are not afraid. They have not learned to fear humans. Here in this deep forest, they live as they have always lived, as their ancestors lived, as their descendants will live. After a long time, they fly, one by one, leaving the tray, their green bodies disappearing into the green forest. Amenteketl speaks, his voice quiet, reverent. The hunters who take their feathers, do not kill them. They climb the trees. They pluck a few feathers and let the birds go. The birds grow new feathers, and the hunters return, year after year, the same birds, giving their beauty, again and again. You think of this, the giving, the taking, the returning. The birds give, without knowing, without choosing, without understanding, and the feather workers receive, with gratitude, with care, with love. You walk on, through the forest, past more trees, past more birds, past streams and rocks and flowers. The sun climbs, the light changes, the forest deepens. After a long time, Amenteketl stops. He turns. He looks back the way you came. You cannot see the city, cannot see the lake, cannot see anything but forest, trees and birds and sky. This, he says, is where the feathers begin. In the forest, in the mountains, in the birds. Without this place, there would be no feathers, no art, no beauty. We must never forget that our work comes from here, from the trees.